What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks podcast here on the DFPN. I am your host, Bread Like a King, made as Kelvin Kately, and we have our guy here with us. He's audio only tonight, Mr. Frank D. What's up?
Yeah, you tell me what's up, man.
Man, I don't know. This has been a weird week. It's been a weird week.
Yeah.
But we're back here. For you guys that are listening to us right now, if you're listening to the sound of our voices, that means you're not watching us live on the Patreon. Please go to the Patreon, www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. Subscribe for as little as $3, and you can be in on this podcast. Don't forget to join us at the Patreon, www.patreon.com/thatfeelingpodcast. Subscribe to the Bandcamp. We have a bunch of new music coming. thatfeeling.bandcamp.com. New music weekly. Go check us out. Same deal, $3 gets you in the door. Also, we have merch available at the Teespring. Teespring.com. Search for That Feeling Podcast. Now, Frank D, we talked before the show.
Right.
We talked, and we got a great show tonight, actually. But did you know that on this day in 1999, the clock for the Millennium Man started, which led to one of the most legendary debuts in the history of the WWF/E.
Yeah, it was Jericho.
Chris Jericho.
Right, correct. Yeah. I actually do remember that. And I kind of knew ahead of time because I was starting to read the dirt sheets at that time. This was around, I was like, 14 years old. So I was reading the dirt sheets and it says, oh, hey, Chris Jericho is coming to the WWF. And this whole clock countdown is Jericho. I'm like, first of all, where are you guys getting this information from? Because at that point I'm a mark, so right. I'm not understanding this. I just happen to be on the computer and typing shit in, and this is what comes up, and I'm like, what? So that's what broadened my horizons pretty much as far as like looking deeper into the business and then understanding, okay, this is what it is. So yes, I actually did know that, sir.
Okay, cool. Yep, on this day, July 12th, 1999, that clock started. Also, we have Boiling Point, August 12th, San Antonio, Texas. No Gimmicks will be in the building that night. I am going to be going down there, and we got a pretty legendary card. They've announced 4 matches so far. We do have a couple sponsorships on that card. More announcements will be made as it comes out, but we do have some sponsorships on that card, so we will be in the building. We will be in attendance. August 12th, Boiling Point, Mission Pro Wrestling, San Antonio, Texas. If you're in the area, get your tickets. Come meet us, or me. Come meet me. Are you going, Frank D? You want to go to this?
I think we'll probably make that happen. But I just got a question real quick about this.
What's up?
I want to sound like a dick, but so has anybody from Anthem contacted Mission Pro Wrestling?
From Anthem?
Yeah.
Not that I know of. Why?
Well, they're calling their show Blowing Point.
Yeah.
That's a old TNA pay-per-view name, Blowing Point.
No.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, no one said anything yet. So, Boiling Point it is.
Yeah, the reason I asked that question is because there was a wrestling organization here in Texas a little while ago that shall not be named, that a friend of mine was working on, and they were going to produce a show called Spring Stampede, and I had to stop them from doing that because I said, if you call the show Spring Stampede, I guarantee you,
you're running a copyright risk.
WWE is going to contact you because that is a trademark WCW pay-per-view name that they owned.
Hmm.
So they had to end up changing the name. They never smart to do it. So that's why I'm asking if but if everything's copacetic and cool, it is what it is.
I don't know. They've announced this since the last pay-per-view, so
Copy that. Well, hey, listen, Rich Pro Wrestling, Boiling Point. All
yeah.
right? Check it out, San Antonio, Texas. No gimmicks true. Will most likely be there.
No, it's a really interesting card. Do you remember that the young girl, the Bailey super fan named Izzy?
Yes, I do.
She's making her pro wrestling debut on this card.
Oh, really? Well, yes. Okay, now I gotta go because I remember Izzy, and then I've seen Izzy. I am so happy that Izzy has followed her dream.
It's crazy to watch.
Yeah, she's followed her dream.
Yeah,
and now she's doing her thing, and maybe one day we'll see Izzy in the WWE wrestling Bailey.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. I think
awesome.
Bailey would probably get a kick out of that too.
I bet she would. Yeah. I bet she would. Yeah. It's like a full circle moment. That'd be awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, because Bailey's not the same Bailey she was. Izzy is not the same Izzy she was. And, the character developments have gone on between the two. So I think that'd be kind of cool. That would be excellent.
Now I've seen some. So Izzy did an interview yesterday, actually. Okay. And it's interesting to see the switch flipping in her. It really is. She reminds me of, how when Mickie James first debuted?
Yes.
And she was like this super obsessed fan of Trish Stratus?
Yes.
That's who she's reminding me of. It's like she's slowly starting to turn away from the person she was into something completely different. It's crazy.
Well, we shall see, my friend. Where this takes us, where we go with this, but most likely we will be there. Mission Pro Wrestling Boiling Point, as they say right here. TNA Boiling Point.
August 12th.
August the 12th.
Yeah.
Mission Pro Wrestling Boiling Point.
Oh man. But let's get into the show. First on the docket, Brian Pillman Jr. no longer a part of AEW.
Yes, sir.
As reported earlier, his contract expired. It was not renewed. He is no longer with the company, as it was reported. You mentioned that this was a fumbling of the bag by AEW. Why?
Well, because number one, Brian Pillman Jr. really, to me, never got adequate training as far as any type of development. I've seen Pillman Jr. when he was in MLW, and the character he kind of did there was similar to the Loose Cannon character his father portrayed in WWF and WCW. So I thought that they missed the mark with that. The Varsity Blondes from Jump Street, I thought was lame. This team kind of had some kind of, I don't know, Saved by the Bell kind of shit going on there. You know what I mean? Like it was like Bayside versus Valley. You know what I mean? And that's what I got from that. Right. So I never really was down with that. Obviously, AEW thought that Julia Hart was going to be the star of the team, and they pushed her away from them.
They did not lie.
Sent her to the Dark Order. Or not Dark Order, I'm sorry, House of Black.
House of Black, yep.
Sent her to the House of Black. And Griff Garrison got injured. Pillman Jr. had his shot pretty much when he was on that deal with MJF. And that was his time. And I think it was a test to see what Pillman Jr. could do. Problem with Pillman Jr. is Pillman Jr. doesn't have the charisma yet, and he does not have the mic skills yet of his father. And he's not very good as far as in the ring. He's athletic, but he's not very good in the ring yet. I think what needs to happen here at this point is Brian Pillman Jr. needs to get signed, and hopefully this happens, gets picked up by WWE, goes down to NXT and trains NXT and learns the WWE style, and I'm pretty sure they'll push him to the moon once they get him. I mean, it's Brian Pillman's son. and they don't know what to do down there with a guy like Brian Pillman Jr. And that's my thing. I think the fumbling here comes from just Tony in a rush to sign anybody and really not evaluating these people, having people there to evaluate this talent to make sure they're TV ready, to make sure they can go in the ring and do all these different spots and all this other shit. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, you got people on your roster that you're not doing anything with. They're just sitting there collecting the paycheck, but yet a guy like Brian Pillman Jr. who can learn, who is a name, is Brian Pillman Jr., who is a name. You let his contract expire, not renew it, just let it expire and don't resign the guy. I kind of think that's bullshit, to be honest.
How much of this before the contract thing? How much of this is the name? Because you got to think Brian Pillman is one of the most legendary names in the business as far as what he did, right? How much did that hurt his son? Because I look at Brian Pillman Jr. I wasn't put off by the Varsity Blondes. I get what you're saying. They could have done a lot more things with him. I think his loose cannon gimmick or what he was trying to evolve into in MLW, it could have worked in AEW. I hate that he didn't get that opportunity to go down that road. But how much of this was the name? Because you hear it from so many second and third generation people in the business, like stepping in those footsteps is pretty hard. Even Cody Rhodes said, like, following Dusty Rhodes it's a hard task, right? How much of that actually hurt him?
I don't think it really hurt him at all, because there's been times when second generation and third generation wrestlers have done better than what their predecessors did. I mean, you take a look at Randy Orton, for instance. Randy Orton did way better than his dad. Was way more athletic than his father. Ain't taking nothing away from Cowboy Bob. It's just telling the truth. So I don't really think that had anything to do with it. I just think that Brian Pillman was a victim of circumstance, honestly. I mean, you can't, these guys, if you're signed to a company that doesn't run house shows, that all you do is TV, okay, you're going to come into these situations where these people are not equipped to do it. You're not going to learn. That's why Triple H left WCW back in the day. He was down there. He could have had a 2-year deal. He said to Eric Bischoff, sign me to a year so we can fill each other out and see if you like my work, if I'm here or whatever. He came up on that contract. He goes to New York to meet with Vince. Triple H is making some money down in WCW, right? But it ain't about the money. He goes up to New York because Vince asked him, why do you want to leave from down there? Why do you want to leave? He says, well, because they're cutting out house shows. So I was like, I want to work. I want to work every night. How am I going to get better if I can't work? He says, they're cutting out house shows. They're only doing TV. I don't want to do that. No disrespect to them, but I don't want to do that. I want to come up here and learn. That's the problem. You're not learning. If you're just at home, just waiting for the next call, hey, Brian, we need you at TV. There is no more dark elevation. So
Right.
So what are you going to do? And that's where a lot of these guys, that's where a lot of the indie talents would come from. They would go to dark elevation. They don't have that option anymore. So I think with Brian Pillman is like the best option for Brian Pillman Jr. at this point would be Booker T's Reality of Wrestling School. He goes to the Dog Pound Dojo, Rodney Mack and Jazz. They can teach you. Okay? Or you get picked up by WWE, which I hope that happens for him. And he gets trained down in NXT by Norman Smiley and all the rest of the crew down there. Because they'll know exactly what to do. A guy like Shawn Michaels can see a Brian Pillman Jr. You'll know what to do with Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the sky's the limit. Pillman's only like, 29 years old? So
he's still young.
He's still young, you know. He's still young, but he ain't that young in the business. He's still young, though. So he still has time.
Right. And for me, I'm personally rooting for him because if you watch The Dark Side of the Ring and you've seen that story,
I did.
Yeah, I want him to win. I really do want him to win.
Yeah,
Like that story is crazy, and for him to even be in the business is like I give him a lot of respect for that. So I do want him to win.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And then and there's also said too that AEW um, said that they're open to bringing him back in the future. Maybe they can talk in down the line. So the door is not completely closed yet for Pillman. I think ultimately too, what it comes down to with this situation is it comes down to money. I think that's what it really comes down to.
yeah,
I think they're just being cautious right now until they get their new television deal where they get a big influx of cash. I think anybody that they let go, they'll be brought back.
yeah.
I think this is all finance. I think a lot of this goes back to finance.
Yeah, yeah. He's a name though. I really want to see him do better in the business. I do. Good luck to you, Brian. All right. AEW Warner Brothers. There's been some rumblings going on of a new television deal coming. It's imminent. What does this mean for AEW overall? Because there's a lot going on.
Well, I mean, obviously, Warner Brothers Discovery, AEW, it means everything for them because they need the cash. They need the influx. Their TV rights are coming up. They need that money. And the thing that's crazy to me about the whole situation is that Warner Brothers Discovery, they are really not worried about TV ratings so much. They just want to see where the shows stack up. Dynamite is still one of the highest rated shows for Turner. So,
which is a good thing. It's a good thing for AEW.
Absolutely, it is. It is. So that's what they're looking at. They're just looking at seeing where the shows stack up as far as against other TV shows. Dynamite's Wednesday nights. They're doing their time slot.
Right.
Under 1 million, whatever. Hey, I guess as long as they're in the demo, they're good. Collision, they just want to see where Collision ranks. They already know that Collision is not going to do very well because of the time slot. They already know this. And that's another reason why they're very eager to work with AEW because AEW is very understanding of the preemptions that are going to take place when sports comes into play. So there's going to be some nights when Collision's not going to be moved around, Rampage is moving around. They already know this. So that's another reason why they're so willingness to work with AEW.
Right.
And also because of the sheer popularity right now of the WWE, the resurgence of the WWE's business, they feel that AEW can kind of, maybe piggyback off that a little bit. Because WWE is doing monster phenomenal business.
Yeah.
They're doing their shit over there. And AEW is right now it's hit or miss. They are they're not selling out shows like they used to. AEW used to be like the hot ticket. It used to. And it's really not anymore. It's AEW tournaments. You want to go? Yeah, well, yeah.
This begs the question.
I've seen it. I've seen it already.
Right. This begs the question, though. As much criticism as they receive, for them to consistently perform the way they do, right? They have a core audience of around, let's just say 850,000. That's their core audience, right? They have this audience that they can consistently bring in on a Wednesday, rank in the cable television ratings on Wednesday. They went up stiff Saturday and was still able to bring in almost 600,000 people because they faced the UFC prelims and Formula One. Like they have sports on Saturday.
Yeah.
They face that. They're going to face this all the time. So this begs the question, if they can stay in there and keep the network happy, how much of this other shit actually matters? Because we can criticize it all day, but if they're performing, like how much of the other shit actually matters?
Well, it matters because keeping the network happy is one thing that's important. Right. But same time, dude, you got to turn profit. So if you're putting these shows together, because listen, these shows are not free. It takes a lot to do live television. All right, it ain't chump change. I know Bischoff was say on for them to produce Nitro back in the day, it'd be $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 per episode to do that. So that ain't no chump change, dude. So you have to draw. You got to be drawing something in order to be making money.
Right. But what I'm saying,
you get your money from the network, but you got to still draw. You still got to put asses in the seats. You still got to sell pay-per-views. You still got to sell merchandise. And right now, if you look at what's going on here, and I've seen the pictures of the buildings, and it's a lot of it is the people say the hard camera side. And I'm like, oh, well, they don't sell tickets to the show there, brother. Let me tell you something. That excuse is kind of wearing thin now. When you look at it as a whole, you look at the hard camera side for the WWE show on Raw or SmackDown, and there's people over there, and then you look at the AEW side, and there's somebody sitting there, but yet people will say, well, it's a hard camera side. They don't sell tickets there. That's bullshit. That's crap. They do sell tickets in that section. It's just ain't nobody going to the shows. And I think a lot of the people are not going to shows because I think in a lot of these places, they've killed the market. They keep going to the same places. And that's all you see. Every time you turn around and watch a show, damn, how many times are you going to be in Chicago?
This was a gripe of mine.
Yeah.
It's not only that, they keep, like, when they do a big arena, they do really well. It's when they go to these smaller marketed arenas and they keep going there, like, eventually you have to find you a balance of big arena, small arena. And they're consistently small, right? And that's what I think is hurting them. Because when they go to places like Detroit and they go to Little Caesars Arena, they do well there. If they go to a place like the United Center, they do well there. Granted, it's Chicago, and they're killing Chicago, but if they go to the United Center, they do well. When they go to New York, they do well. Like, go to bigger cities consistently. Yeah, I get you want to grow your fan base into these little markets. You want to grow your fan bases there too, and you want to have a presence there too. But if you're gonna do house shows, do your house shows in the smaller markets. And do your big shows, do your televised shows in the bigger markets, because the crowd just looks better. It just does. And I hope I'm not the only one saying that, because it's like you play these, it looks so much better on television to me when you have a bigger audience. When the audience is bigger and you're able to focus on the entire arena and you're able to show that, even on the hard camera side, which that's what WWE does. They play the bigger arenas and then they mix in the smaller ones as they go along. That's what makes them, when they tour, successful.
I'm going to tell you right now. So they just had a bunch of pre-sales today for WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of them was here in San Antonio for SmackDown, October 20th.
It's going to sell out.
The event is damn near sold out.
It's gonna.
Yeah.
You know why? Because in that same breath, they announced Raw for Dallas.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. You have a mix. You have a mix of big, small. San Antonio, by Texas standard, is not a big market. Dallas is.
I disagree with that.
By Texas standard.
Texas standard, San Antonio is a big market. We got wrestling shows happening here every week.
Wrestling.
But for a market like, okay, so San Antonio is a WWE market. Always has been.
Yeah, it is.
It's a WWE market. That's why they were able to get the Rumble here this year. So it's a big market. AEW has come to San Antonio. AEW came to San Antonio off the strength of what they did out in Cedar Park. And they came here. And they have had successful shows here. The last time I went to AEW was back in December of last year. And I noticed something was off about the show. It just didn't have the same energy. Didn't have the same flow.
You followed the show from here. That was the biggest problem. Because they did the week before they came out there, they were here. And that show was incredible. It was incredible. You weren't going to follow that. It was.
It just was. It wasn't that though. It
Yeah.
just was. This was after the whole CM Punk thing had happened and all that. They just lost a lot of momentum, bro. Like I don't know what it is. It's just something right now. Even with Punk being back, it's damaged goods for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the show
because of the
doesn't
media
feel,
scrum.
Don't feel
and this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about.
It goes before that. It goes before the media scrum, though. To me, it honestly it goes back to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, when Cody left, that was a dent already, and then the media scrum happened. Those two events right there killed a lot of momentum. Even now, they're still struggling to get it back now, which is why I didn't agree initially with the Collision roster. I kind of like it now, but initially I didn't agree with it. Why? Is because you already had a divided fan base, and this fan base, the AEW fan base, I'm not gonna say they're toxic, but the traits, like they're very choosy on who they get behind. They really are. They're very picky on who they're gonna support. So if they support CM Punk, they're gonna say fuck the elite, which you have happened. If they support the elite, they're gonna say fuck CM Punk, which you have had happen. So you have to be very careful with this fan base because they are picky.
I just think that they the fans have kind of spoken at this point, and they're either gonna, like you said, they're gonna support the brand or they're not gonna support the brand. They have their niche audience. They have their hardcore audience.
They do.
The hardcore audience is 800 to 900,000 people in the United States. Now, outside of the United States, okay, they probably have more fans that we don't know about because we don't put those.
It's uncharted territory.
It's uncharted. We don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this for the simple fact that these people can sell almost 80,000 tickets in London, England.
That's huge.
That is a huge step right there.
That's
so
huge.
If anybody out there that's pretty much a hater of AEW or whatever, keep in mind that they have sold almost 80,000 tickets with no match announced. That is a very big deal.
We are a month and 12 days away. Actually, a month and 17 days away.
People bought tickets for WrestleMania from this year off the rumor of The Rock versus Roman Reigns that didn't happen. Okay? These diehard fans in England don't give a shit about it. All they care about is we need something.
Yeah, wrestling.
We want something. Wrestling's coming.
Hell, you seen what Money in the Bank did? Money in the Bank did numbers.
Yeah, and those people, bro, let me tell you something. All the English fans over there, them motherfuckers was hyped.
Lit.
The Usos singing that whole song.
Yeah,
they was hyped. They was hyped. They was like, that was some gangster shit that was going on in that crowd.
Oh, when Cena came out, was like, we need to have WrestleMania here. They fucking lost their minds, bro.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen.
I don't know.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
You might have to give it a couple of years, but
I don't see it happening. I really don't.
You don't think American fans will travel for WrestleMania?
I don't think because here's the thing with this. The thing is that WWE likes to put these shows on, but they want to see, their thing is they want the show to be paid for, and they help the local economy. That's how the shows work, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much as if they want to do it or not. What's England going to do for them? What's the city of London going to do for them to bring them over there for that? That's like Puerto Rico when Backlash happened. Puerto Rico paid for that show.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's how it works. So if you're not offering us anything, we're not going to bring WrestleMania over there. 2 fucking nights. We're not doing that.
What if they sweeten that pot?
I don't think it's happening, man. If it was going to happen, it would happen already. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't see it happening. Nope. The best you're gonna get is you're gonna get AEW, brother, and you'll get a Money in the Bank here or Monday Night Raw there or something like that. You ain't getting WrestleMania.
Hey, they lost their minds. when they said we need to bring WrestleMania out here, you thought they saw God because it was like, yes, we need it now. But anyway, back to the subjects at hand. All right, with this update with the AEW, one part of AEW looks like it's left out, and that's the Ring of Honor.
That's not AEW, brother.
Well, it's under the umbrella.
It's not AEW though.
Yeah, I know, but it's under the umbrella.
So the Tony Khan Ring of Honor project was left out of the discussions because Warner Brothers Discovery has no interest in Ring of Honor airing on the Turner networks. Just like DC has no interest in Henry Cavill playing Superman anymore, which sucks ass, but that's what it is.
Hey man, they found somebody else. That's their direction. That's the direction they want to go. Can't fault them for that.
So they have no interest in it, and it's like, what do you do with this asset? This okay. So and this is like a repeat because people don't know this, right? Because this shit gets so swept under the rug. The same thing happened to Vince with WCW. They wanted the WCW shows on TNN. They said no. We signed up for the World Wrestling Federation, not WCW. That's what it was. It was a multitude of things that kept that from happening. It was the Booker T Buff Bagwell match. It was a crowd reaction that they got in Tacoma because WWE says, well, we never ran Tacoma. WCW did run Tacoma. They did run the Tacoma Dome. They ran it for Spring Stampede 99. It was a fatal four-way match. Hogan, Flair, DDP, and Sting for the World Championship. Macho Man was the referee. So they did run that place. They were always saying, whoa, they had to wait next week to Atlanta. No. It's what it comes down to is that your fans have always thought that WCW was shit because you said it was shit. So no one cared. And so then you go on to negotiate this shit with Viacom. Well, hey, we just bought this asset. Now we were thinking about taking our flagship show, Monday Night Raw, and turning it into Nitro. And then we'll be on SmackDown. Oh, no. No.
But we don't like them.
We don't. No. We didn't pay for that. We paid for the WWF, not WCW. Same thing with Warner Brothers Discovery. We're paying for all Elite Wrestling, not this little rinky-dink Ring of Honor. Because even if Claudio cut the greatest promo I ever heard him say in my entire life with Mark Briscoe.
Yes.
It doesn't matter because it just doesn't matter.
No, it
at
don't.
This point.
It's crazy too because, like I said, I've been watching the Honor Club. Ring of Honor. What I will say about AEW, minus Dynamite and Collision, there are shows where they don't have TV time. And Collision's a different animal because Collision's decent because they're not up against anything and they don't have to rush anything. It's Dynamite that's like they have to go minute by minute. So they're rushing everything, right? Ring of Honor, no one gives a shit about it. So they're able to do whatever they want to do with it. And it's excellent. Like it's great. I love it.
But if it was so great, then TV stations will be clamoring to pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's not so it can't be that great.
No, I'm telling you.
I will say is I think what you'll say is that its suffice is decent because if it was great or good, then Warner Brothers Discovery would be like, we got to have that shit. That's what I would say. I got to have that. When I saw. If I'm Viacom, right, it is 2001, and I see what they present to me as WCW, and then I look over here at TNT, and I see what it was in 97, 98, and I'm looking at this, we don't want to pay for that. That's like bad Chinese food. We don't want to pay for it. So that's how I look at that.
I get where you're coming from.
ROH is bad Chinese food at this point. Needs to be freshened up.
I don't think anybody's paying attention. That's just
they're
me.
not. They're not
I
paying
don't
attention.
think anyone's paying
That's
attention.
that sucks.
It
But
does.
but here's the thing. Here's a metric. But you never find out because it's a private company. Put up Ring of Honor's previous pay-per-view buys versus the new regime under AEW.
Oh, they're killing them.
Exactly. So it makes money, but they can't get on TV. Maybe that changes. I mean, Warner Brothers Discovery, if you're listening out there, you don't have to put Ring of Honor on the Turner networks. You can put it on
Put that shit on Max.
your Max streaming service. You got all this other fucking dumbass bullshit on there, completely fucked up the app with all this Discovery bullshit. Why not actually add something on here that's entertaining? Because I only go on there for Batman.
Yeah.
That's it. And, and the Fresh Prince and all that shit. And the Wayne Brothers. That's what I go on there for. The Sopranos.
Yeah. But yeah, put it on Max.
Exactly.
It's for me, and I did it as a tester, but I actually like the product. Like I really do. They actually have a good roster.
Yeah.
The roster that they have is good. And it's enough to where it doesn't take away from what you have going on. It has nothing to do with Dynamite, nothing to do with Collision. It's its own thing. They have their own stories. The stories are actually followable. I get they let things breathe a lot more on Ring of Honor. There's a lot more continuity on Ring of Honor than there is on even Dynamite. So I like to pay attention to it. The fact of the matter is, no one's paying attention to it. No, not even the network. Because if I'm at the network, I say at least put this shit on Max. Let's see what it does. As an experiment, put it on Max. Let's see what it does.
Well, the best thing they are doing, because they have control over who comes on the show and who doesn't. They have say-so on that. Is there a lot of Ring of Honor matches to happen on AEW TV?
Right.
Which they don't have to do. But
they don't. But even with Collision.
But how the fuck are you going to tell me? How are you telling me that you have control over who comes on my show and who doesn't come on my show? Are you guys? I'm sorry. Is this Ted Turner on WCW, where the Turner Centers and Practices are coming in here and telling me who I can and cannot do business with? This sounds very reminiscent of World Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, it does.
And not in a good way.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, I mean, for my taste as a fan, I'm just saying, put that shit on Max, put Ring of Honor on Max, and just experiment with it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I honestly think it would do decent numbers.
I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at what it does.
Yeah. I think it would do decent numbers. I think it would do probably more than my 600-pound wife would do on that network.
It probably would. Either that or I
can only watch so many times of a 500-pound guy rolled up to the drive-thru. He's supposed to be, he's supposed to be trying to get ready for surgery. And he going up there and ordering fucking, two buckets of fried chicken and shit, and then have Dr. Now up there talking about, yeah, but if you don't lose your weight, then we can't help you. Shit like that.
But I mean, yeah.
They do that show here in Texas, right?
Yeah, in San Antonio, right?
No,
Houston.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I think it is Houston.
But if you don't lose your weight, I told you to lose weight. You haven't lost the weight yet. Your numbers are off the charts here. You broke my scale.
That's fucked up. Oh man. All right, last one. We had a top. I had a top 5. We did a top 5.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we get to that, hold on.
Right.
We gonna skip this fucking topic. We're really gonna skip the trial of Roman Reigns.
No, let's talk about it.
Excellent segment. Went a little long, but excellent segment. Lots of foreshadowing in that segment.
Yes. Yes.
Solo is the one you gotta watch out for.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. And they're pushing it towards that. Solo right now is Roman's corner. But Solo picked the thing up off the ground, off the mat.
He looked at it.
He looked at that, and it's like he almost had like a power surge go through him or something like that. He was contemplating that shit. He was feeling what it felt like to be the chief, the tribal chief. And Roman's looking at him, and Roman's like, give it to me. And Solo wasn't really trying to give it to him. And then Jimmy comes up and goes after Solo and all that. It's just great storytelling. And I have to tell you, them four working together probably has to be like the biggest thrill of their lives to be at this age and all of that. Madison Square Garden does their highest gate ever in Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
The Bloodline storyline.
Not even for a match, for a segment.
For a segment, does 3 million viewers for SmackDown.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Not even a match, a segment.
Right.
That's insane. But
people are invested.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest stories in the modern times. It is. But there was an interview Jay did that really drove this home for me. And they were like, what is the end? What is the ultimate goal?
I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
He was like WrestleMania. It's like wrestling in the living room. And I'm like, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Now I want them to see this shit through, because that statement brought back so many memories. Like, as a kid, I'm pretty sure if you're a wrestling fan, even if you aren't a wrestling fan anymore, everybody's done the fucking matches in the living room, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody's done it. So I wanna see them see this through and keep giving us the story, because it is still an intriguing story. It really is. You could run this shit. I don't know how long you can run it for, but I'm pretty sure you can run it till WrestleMania.
You probably could. But the problem is that Roman's on limited dates.
Right.
So you only bring Roman back when something happens, something big is going to go down.
Right.
But he's on limited. But yeah, I mean, the end game is probably going to be Uso versus Uso. That's, Brett versus Owen. That's right. Kind of what you want to see there. And honestly, who knows? To me, honestly, Jimmy will be the heel. Jay will be the babyface if that happens. If they go that route. If they go that route.
Now, this goes back to what you said.
Yeah.
I think they're setting it up now. I think they're foreshadowing it now.
Honestly, dude, I don't really see it happening next year.
I don't see this happening until the seed has been planted.
I don't see it happening until Jay wins the belt.
Okay, hear me out. I see the seed being planted right now, to where you have Solo, them trying to get Solo to be the tribal chief, right? They get Solo. They've already planted the seed that Jimmy didn't want Jay as the tribal chief. That's the friction. They both want Solo, but Solo's only going to choose one of them.
No, they never said anything about Jimmy Jay being the tribal chief that Jimmy had a problem with. They didn't want Jimmy to be the right hand man, the main event. He didn't want.
Was it the right hand man? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was like to be the next up to be tribal chief. I thought that's what they were hinting at.
Yeah.
But
no, they both made it clear they don't. Neither Uso wants to be the tribal chief.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if they were to go through and do something stupid like have Jimmy turn on Jay right now, that would be dumb.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that now.
It's gonna come
especially
down
since they got back together.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Like, that would be stupid.
Yeah, no.
It's gonna come down the line. And the Usos right now, the Usos don't even need the tag team belts.
They don't. The story is carrying it.
They don't need anything like that. You can
run this bloodline story without a belt on any of them.
And that's what I was about to say. You could let the Usos do some single shit. Let Jimmy beat Austin Theory for the U.S. belt or some shit. Let them carry a singles gold. And if they do have a match, they can do it two ways. We can have a heel versus heel or heel versus babyface match, or you can do baby versus babyface. I want to know who's better, me or you. That's I gotta know. You can go into wrestling. You can do the same story you kind of did with Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper, WrestleMania 8.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta know. Our Bulldog versus Bret, SummerSlam 92.
Yep.
I just gotta know if
it don't have to be friction.
Don't have to be friction.
Yeah.
It's just be competitive, like when we was in the living room.
Yeah.
When we was kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of intriguing situations there, but I have to tell you, the story was excellent the way they pulled it off.
Oh yeah.
Destroying them, Jake came back and saying, "I got to get you." SummerSlam is gonna be where it's at. Some people are saying, "Oh, ain't no way in hell they going." I don't know, man. I mean,
now, question.
Yeah.
If they set up Jay. So right now, it's Roman versus who? Jay?
It's supposed to, yeah.
At SummerSlam.
Could be.
Do you take the title off of Roman at SummerSlam?
You could. You could, because Roman is the undisputed champion, right?
Yep.
So Roman's defense would be, you beat me for the undisputed championship, but I'm still the universal champion, as my wise man still has 2 belts over here. And at that point, you got 3 world championships.
Yeah. And
there's a reason why Heyman is still carrying around those 2 belts.
Yep.
I think that's the story they're going to tell here. I think there's a possibility that Jay can beat Roman for the championship, and he's the undisputed champion. Roman says there ain't no dispute because I'm the universal champion, because I still got 2 belts.
He never let those 2 belts go.
Yep. At first, I thought it was weird. It's like, why the hell are you still carrying around? Now I'm kind of thinking like, okay, I kind of see where they're going with this a little bit.
Yep. That's why I say, do you have Jay go over at SummerSlam? Do you have him win that match?
I would. If you don't, you're making a big mistake. Because at this point, Roman's killed so much talent. Now you go, okay, now you're gonna sacrifice, because what it's gonna look like is that it's gonna look like these guys are losers. Like they can't get it done. He got so much momentum, you can't get it done. It's kind of like where Cody is. Cody is not the same Cody Rhodes he was when he got there.
Here's the difference between Cody and Jay, though. Jay actually pinned Roman before. It just wasn't for the belt. That's the story going into SummerSlam. He actually pinned Roman. He's the first person to pin Roman in 3 years.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's the story started with Roman, and then the story with the Jay. The story has always been about Jay.
Yeah.
So the ultimate comeuppance for Jay would be to beat Roman and become a world champion. That's or whatever the hell they want to call it today. That's the ultimate end game. Is for him to become the undisputed champion, and I think there's a possibility that happens at SummerSlam. And if it doesn't happen, I think that's a big mistake by WWE. I really do. I really would question at this point where we're going with this, because now you put this rocket ship on Jay. See, you can only do this so many times before people start losing interest in this. You can only do it so many times. There were so many times where back in the day in the AWA, you had Vern Gagne would book Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel for the world title, right? And every match, it was always some bullshit. Hogan didn't win the title, and that was a way to bring people back the next month to see Hogan win the belt, and he didn't win it.
Right.
You can only do that so many times. You can only have Roman Reigns out here being a road warrior for so long, where he's beating everybody. Before, why am I going to watch this shit? Because I already know the outcome. The outcome's going to be Roman's going to win, And that's it. At least with these matches here that they do are, I should say, these segments that they do, at least you know these segments are going to involve, majority of us going to be talking is a little bit of physicality. There's no actual match happening here.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about anything like that.
Right.
But when you have a full-blown match where people are invested in the match and they want to see the outcome of the match, and then they're on such a high, and then it's a downer because you lose, I don't know, man. You're kind of killing your fan base a little bit there.
I agree with that.
Because the only reason why WWE right now is in the position that they're in is the bloodline. It's nothing else. And the numbers prove it. Because if they were doing anything on Raw that was that exciting as what's going on with SmackDown in the bloodline, then Raw's numbers would be where SmackDown's
crazy. Yeah.
And SmackDown's pulling in, 2.5 million viewers a week.
Raw's numbers are great when the bloodline's on it.
Exactly.
So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. All right, last one. Most forgotten wrestler. We had a top 5.
Right.
But due to time, let's do one. Who's your most forgotten wrestler?
Most forgotten wrestler. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go with Ahmed Johnson.
Ahmed Johnson.
Yep.
Right.
I just don't think people understand exactly how fucking over he was.
Oh, he was crazy over.
Yeah.
He was crazy over.
I don't think people understand that. People talk about Goldberg. All right, what Goldberg was doing.
Yeah. Ahmed Johnson before Goldberg. He was Goldberg before Goldberg.
Right.
He was running through people.
Yeah.
Had the physique. The Pearl River Plunge was a great finishing move. It really was.
Yep.
Really showcased his power, his devastation, his dominance. Promos are stuff of legend. Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
And just the intensity the guy had when he was out there.
For anybody that's not a part of the No Gimmicks fan group, shout out to who posted that? Bubba John? Is that who posted that?
What's
the
Fun with
promo?
Ahmed?
Yeah.
Fun with Ahmed? No, that was me.
That was you did that?
Yeah, Fun with Ahmed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for that shit. That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, those Fun with Ahmed promos are hilarious. That's how I choose to remember. Ahmed.
I didn't take my mask on. I'm in a very bad mood. Oh, man. Shout out to Ahmed Johnson. I don't know where he is, but somebody brought up that he was Big T in WCW.
He was.
I try to forget that because I was like, God damn, what the fuck happened to Ahmed Johnson?
Yeah. He was brought in for a role, and he didn't really do good in the role.
No.
And he'll tell you, he had gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of Big T, was part of the Harlem Heat 2000 faction.
Yep.
With Stevie Ray, what's his name? Clarence Mason was a lawyer.
Yep.
And 4x4, who was a member of the Nolan and Soldier crew. So
another faction I try to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ahmed would be one in a quick mention. Honorable mention would be Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid.
Okay.
I don't really think people understand how over Sid was in the 90s. Sid was imposing. Sid
was scary.
Sid was scary. Like he was really thought Sid was crazy.
Yeah. The Psycho Sid?
Yeah. So he was a monster in WCW
Mm-hmm.
as Sid Vicious in the early 90s. Then he went to the WWF as Sid Justice. The highlight was when he wrestled Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
Left the WWF, went back to WCW, was being managed by Colonel Robert Parker for a little while.
Yep.
Then had the incident with Arn Anderson with the scissors. Then came back to the Federation in '95 as Shawn Michaels' bodyguard.
Yep.
Then turned on Michaels. After that, came back as a member of the $1 Billion Corporation, I believe. And at that point, left again, softball season. Came back. He replaced the Ultimate Warrior when Warrior was having his issues. Came back as a babyface, became the WWF champion at that point. And he had a hell of a run there for a little while.
Yep.
Until he faked a heart attack. And I think it was San Antonio. Matter of fact, he faked a
Really?
heart attack at a Raw TV taping and said, instead of taking him to the hospital because he's having a heart attack, no, take him back to my hotel room. So he get the hell out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious.
Yeah, that power bomb was amazing.
Crazy.
In the business, if you put down power bombs in the business, it's always to me, it's always going to come back to him and Kevin Nash.
Yeah. I think the jackknife was more devastating because of how Kevin Nash, how tall he was, A, and B, how he executed that move.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Nash was fluid. He was smooth with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with that sentiment. I think Nash was a little bit better than Sid Vicious.
Yeah.
And one more honorable mention of a talent that I don't think people realize the impact he actually had as a big man and just the crazy shit he was doing in TNA, the Monster Abyss.
That was one of mine.
Yeah. Who works behind the scenes now at WWE as a producer.
Yep. Sure does.
Yeah. So Abyss was the shit. Abyss was something different that I had never seen. I saw Abyss for the very first time was in NWA TNA, those Wednesday night shows. And I remember his first affiliation was with Kid Cash. And he was like, they had him in like the basement or some shit. He was in this gated up area. And he came out there and everybody was like, oh, look at this Kane ripoff. I'm like, bro, if you look at the time frame of what Kane was doing versus what Abyss was doing, I'm rolling with Abyss.
Yeah.
I'm rocking
all
with
day.
Abyss. Yeah.
All
I'm rocking
day.
with Abyss. Sorry. I'm going with Abyss.
Yeah. So that the TNA Impact Abyss, that whole era, like, doesn't get enough attention.
Right.
It really doesn't. His work was insane.
Yeah. It was incredible. It was incredible. And another honorable mention right quick is Homicide.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Homicide was just, he had that intensity too. Was a smaller guy, but him with Hernandez and Conan, that original LAX.
Hell yeah, the LAX.
LAX, something you had never seen before.
Yeah.
That was something like that was completely different. It was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like you talk about factions.
The
like,
187?
187 on it. Like I don't understand that. Like Hernandez and when they had Pride and Powerful in AEW, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why did y'all not call them LAX? I don't get that. They could easily just work with Impact Wrestling and say, hey, can we use
they were working with him anyway.
Exactly. So I don't understand that. That's what they should have been. I never liked the name Pride and Powerful.
I didn't like it either. I think LAX would have worked over really well. And then you had Conan coming in there with him in the beginning too. It would have made more sense for them to be LAX.
Well, Conan, I don't think physically could do it anymore. But Eddie Kingston could be there. Eddie Kingston could roll with them too. Because if you remember, they had a little war going on in Impact for a while. It was Eddie Kingston was with Hernandez and Homicide. They were called the OGs.
Right.
And then you had Conan with, they were LAX.
Right.
So,
right.
But yeah, those are a few honorable mentions of forgotten wrestlers. We didn't get to the Norman Smileys, the Big Wiggle, Or Alex Wright with the big bratwurst. We didn't mention any of that shit.
Das Wunderkind.
Right.
Or my true one was the alpha male Monty Brown.
Yeah. Or Steve Blackman. The
Or
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah. The Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman. Hell yeah. Or Lance Storm.
Right.
Lance Storm is an underrated all-timer. But yeah. Forgotten Wrestlers. Final thoughts. What you got, man?
Final thoughts is I have not purchased the AEW video game yet. I saw some things that I didn't really like, and I'm waiting for an update. But Frank D will soon be purchasing that video game, and once I play it, if it's good, I'll say it's the greatest thing. If it's not, I'll bury it. And let's see what else we got going here. We got Ahsoka coming up.
It's already episode 1 looks like it's already out right now.
I don't think so. It's not dropping until August 23rd, brother.
I think they had a sneak showing.
2 episodes. They dropped the trailer. 2 episodes, August 23rd.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
I've been busy. Okay, I'll watch them after the show. I've been watching talk of it.
The trailer
drop out? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it ain't dropped yet. The trailer drops. But let's see. What did they say? What's the next big thing today? Oh, people are trying to cancel Dave Filoni because Dave Filoni said that Anakin Skywalker is the greatest Jedi of all time. So people have a problem with that. I think people.
Why are they trying to cancel them for
that? I don't know. People need their heads out of their asses. If you look at the situation, Anakin is the greatest Jedi of all of the Jedis. The motherfucker.
Anakin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. He is the greatest Jedi. Anakin was the greatest Jedi of all the Jedi. So he completely destroyed the Jedi Order, or was that Obi-Wan? Yeah, it was Obi-Wan. You know why it was Obi-Wan? Because George Lucas said it was Obi-Wan who destroyed it. Yeah. Oh, and there's big rumors going around right now too that Kathleen Kennedy has been fired from Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy is one of the biggest reasons why Star Wars sucks now.
No, that's been happened. She's been fired.
No, that's a rumor. It hasn't been. It just happened in the last couple of days.
I thought that happened like weeks ago.
No, it came out. Last week it came out. The story broke that she could not access her emails anymore. So they are leading speculation that she is gone from Lucasfilm, and I hope that is true. So. The Nerd Podcast, Nerdism. What is it? What is it called?
United States Department of Nerds.
Yeah. You girls need to get on that. I want to hear what you have to say about Kathleen Kennedy's possible departure from Lucasfilm. I want to hear if Anakin Skywalker is the true Jedi that I know that he is.
They're gonna tell you no.
It doesn't matter what they say.
The fuck? They're gonna tell you the truth.
I don't see how. How is Anakin Skywalker?
Because you want him to be.
How is he not?
He's just not.
Oh well, Dave Filoni says he is.
Was he a Jedi Master?
Who?
Anakin Skywalker.
He never got a chance to be.
Was
he never got a chance? Did they give him a chance?
Yes or no?
Did they give him a chance to be?
The answer is yes or no.
Did they give him a chance?
The answer is
no.
yes.
You can't say that. You can't say that because
yes,
did they give him a chance?
Yeah.
Did he give?
They gave him chances.
No, they didn't.
Was he ready to be a master?
No. Did they give him a chance?
Yes.
Or did they want him to spy on Palpatine?
They could have won.
They said, and I quote, "We grant you a seat, but we do not change your rank to master." Is what they said.
Exactly.
So once again, was he given a chance?
Sir, the question was.
Chance what? Was he given the question? Was he given a chance?
No, the original.
He was
question,
not.
The original question was he a Jedi Master?
That wasn't the question.
Or no, that was the question.
That's not the question. That's not the question I answered. That's not the question I asked. I said, was he a
the question
Jedi?
I asked first was.
You can't say was he a Jedi Master, dude, if they're telling you we do not grant you the rank of Master. So where is he gonna be at? Where's he gonna be
answer
at?
the question.
That's fucking stupid, man.
Was Anakin Skywalker
That's stupid.
Jedi Master? Was he?
We all know he wasn't. He wasn't given a chance.
Okay, so he wasn't a Jedi Master.
Right.
He was deemed not ready to be a Jedi Master by Jedi Masters. Therefore, if you are not a Jedi Master, how could you ever be the greatest Jedi? You weren't even a Jedi Master.
You know how? Because George Lucas and Dave Filoni says he is.
George Lucas said this.
Yeah.
First it was Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni is the name.
Felonious.
Yeah. Dave Filoni said.
This is Filoni shit.
said. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why it's not. Because right now, Ahsoka Tano was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. Anakin trained Ahsoka to the point where she's at now, where she can take on anybody. Hold up. That was all him. When nobody wanted anything to do with Ahsoka, he took her on.
Okay.
Trained
you get a point for that. You get a point for this.
Used her and used him.
I will give you a point for that.
But
was Anakin Skywalker?
He could not have been because he was given a chance to. The only thing they wanted to do was use Anakin.
It's a simple yes.
Bro, you can't say that. If you follow Revenge of the Sith, you can't say that.
Because
how can you sit there and say, oh, was he ever a Jedi Master? Well, I just told you they never gave him a chance to. You sound retarded.
No, because history will only remember if you were a Jedi Master. Was he ever a Jedi Master?
No, he wasn't a Jedi Master. He was just a motherfucker that went and killed all the damn Jedi. So in history, he went and killed all the motherfucking Jedi.
Because he was not a Jedi Master.
No, he got tired of being used.
That wasn't even him that did that. That was Palpatine. So in historically.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. You're right. He didn't kill the Jedi. He killed the Separatists.
Let me tell you exactly. Let me tell you what.
You gotta tell me.
Let me tell you exactly what. And I'm gonna piss a whole bunch of people off, and I love it. Here's what Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader. You want to know what his history was? A hoe. You know why? Because he was following orders like a bitch. That's who fucking Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker is. He wasn't a fucking Jedi Master. He was the Sith Lord. But you know why? He answered to a motherfucker. You know why? Because he was a ho.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Couldn't find his way.
No, let me ask you a question about that. Since you said all that, right? Who did the Jedi answer to?
I don't know. Who did they answer to?
No, you got it all figured out. Who did they answer to?
Who did they answer to? No, you tell me.
Who did they answer to?
Who did they answer to?
Who did they take orders from?
I don't know. You tell me.
Palpatine, motherfucker.
So that has nothing to do with Darth Vader. That has nothing to do with... Because it's Palpatine. Palpatine, you know who Palpatine was? The big fucking boss. If anybody deserves any respect in the whole world, it's fucking Palpatine.
Palpatine wasn't
a big boss.
Boss.
Yeah, he was.
He
played both of them. He played the Sith and he played the Jedi. He was all for him. And he had Darth Vader, one of the most powerful motherfuckers that ever walked the line. Was supposed to be the balance of the whole force. Had him hoeing around, taking his orders.
He did bring balance to the force.
How?
By killing Palpatine.
In the end, yeah. Once he figured out he was.
What did Yoda say? What did Yoda say? A prophecy that could have been misread.
Yeah.
Right.
But what I'm saying is.
That's what George Lucas says.
This goes back to the whole thing.
What's that?
Anakin Skywalker was the best Jedi.
It was.
You just sat here and proved it.
It was.
I walked you right into it. You
walked me into what?
You went all scorched earth to get to the point that I made initially.
What's that?
I love it. That he wasn't the best Jedi. He just killed him.
Well, technically he didn't kill him though. You already said that.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, he didn't kill him.
But I'm saying he was following orders.
he was following orders that Palpatine gave him to kill the Separatists. Correct.
Yeah, he was following orders like a good hoe.
Look, asshole. The bottom line is, all right. What you're gonna end up doing here is you're gonna end up we're gonna end up doing a fucking exclusive show, and you can bring those girls on, all right, and we can have a goddamn good fucking debate about this shit, because in my opinion, it's the only one that matters. Anakin Skywalker
is not.
Anakin Skywalker was the greatest Jedi of all Jedis. He trained Ahsoka. That shows right there he was the greatest Jedi. He got her ready.
That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit.
It means a whole lot.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does.
That doesn't mean anything.
When you got motherfucking everybody trying to kill your ass.
That's a point. That's a drop in the bucket.
Everybody trying to kill you. You must be doing something right. Because Darth Maul wanted to kill his ass too. Darth Maul wanted to kill him. Why did Darth Maul want to kill him?
Because Darth Maul knew. Darth Maul knew what was up.
Exactly. That motherfucker must be very important then, wouldn't he?
Nah, because he's like, man, how the fuck you get the most powerful hoe out here? Like, what the fuck?
So now Anakin
I gotta kill him.
So really, Anakin was a hoe now? Really?
Yeah.
Because Anakin was the only one around there getting pussy.
No.
So technically he can't be a hoe.
No.
Yeah, one woman.
You know what
one
it did?
Woman.
It made
one
him
woman.
weak.
One
made
woman.
Him blind. Made him
really?
blind.
No, you know what's blind? You know what? You say
his V card. And he was
you know what it's called. You know what it's called. It's called if you follow the story. What it's called is they were all being played by one person, Jedi included.
Yeah,
the Jedi got played.
I said that.
The Jedi got played.
So did fucking Anakin. I said this. If anybody deserves
Anakin started off as a slave from Tatooine.
That's great.
The dude had a hard fucking shit to be.
That's good. That's
hard
good.
fucking life.
Yeah,
there's no reason.
Grew up in
and we still don't know. We still don't even know till this day how Anakin was even conceived. How he was. Nobody knows.
No.
People say that Sidious has something to do with that. I don't know, but that's what they say because of the midi-chlorians.
Look,
Anakin had the most midi-chlorians out of any being.
Listen.
Okay?
Regardless.
That's why he is the greatest Jedi because of the amount of midi-chlorians he had, bro.
No.
Who's the greatest Jedi?
It ain't Anakin. I'll tell you that.
Who is it?
I'll tell you that. It ain't Anakin.
Well, who is it?
If you really want my opinion, the person that is probably the greatest Jedi ever, that's a hard one.
Oh,
I had to come back
hard one. Why is it hard?
It's a hard one.
Why?
Because I want to say Yoda. But I'm not sure if it's Yoda. It ain't Anakin. I'll tell you that. For reasons that I've laid out.
I think I disagree.
It is not fucking Anakin Skywalker.
So it's not Anakin Skywalker, the one that had the power, that basically had children with Padme, who passed on his powers to them. Wasn't him though.
No, it was not him.
Okay.
He is not the greatest Jedi.
Okay.
Hell, if you really want to be technical, his son's better than him. Since we had this whole second generation talk, he is the cowboy Bob Orton of that equation.
No.
His son's better than him.
No. You need to really honestly, dude, like to say some shit like that. You really need to really up your Star Wars game, because you sound like a fucking idiot right now. I'm just being honest.
No, I'm serious.
Have you read any of the books?
Yes.
Have you read the whole novel? You read the novelization of Darth Vader.
Why are we judging Darth Vader off potential first and foremost?
So no, I'm asking if you read the novels.
No, answer this.
So
why do we judge him? Why do we judge him off potential and not what he actually was? Why?
Because what he actually was is not presented in what the current media is put out by Disney. That's why.
No, this is well before what's put out. We judged him off potential. He was supposed to be. If
You can't.
If he would have reached his
You
potential.
can't say that.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't say
true.
that because in the
'80s,
in the '80s, bro, when Star Wars was released in the '80s, the original movies, you barely had a mention of fucking Anakin Skywalker. No one knew who the fuck he was.
Okay,
it was all about Vader.
You're gonna ask me if I read the books. Yes, the books.
Which book did you read?
I've read a lot of them, mostly Old Republic shit, but I do try to.
Okay, so then what did they say about Anakin in the Old Republic?
They didn't say shit about him.
Exactly, motherfucker. He's not in the Old Republic.
But
he ain't in the High Republic either.
But what I'm saying is why, and this is not just you. This is not just
son
you.
Of a bitch, you got fighting words, boy.
This is not just you. But why do y'all like to paint him? It's like bras who like a none shit motherfucker. Like this motherfucker ain't worth shit, but you love him for the potential. This is everybody's relationship.
But you're wrong there because it's not you like him because of the potential. You saw what he did. If you watched Rebels, you saw everything he did.
Yeah.
So how do you say, well, he never did anything, he had the potential? If you remember correctly, it was General Skywalker. So how did he not do anything?
Rebels is a glance.
Rebels is
of what he was because he wasn't even at his full potential then. But
he was damn near there.
Again.
He was
damn near and there are two different things.
Bruh, he was at a fighting level. He was at an 8 during that time frame. Was that a 7, I believe, a 7 or an 8 during that time frame?
And
when he had to fight with Obi-Wan, he went to a 9. So tell me how the fuck he's not the motherfucker was at a 9.
He lost at a 9.
He lost.
I have the high ground. Mr. Greatest Jedi doesn't realize that when he says I have the high ground, it means I'm gonna fucking cut you in half.
Yeah, well,
Mr. Greatest Jedi ever.
I tell you what,
got his ass handed to him by his teacher. Mr. Greatest Jedi ever was sitting in molten fucking lava, saying I hate you. Crying like a little bitch.
What would you do if you just had your limbs and shit cut off and you're on fire? You gonna sit up there and not cry, motherfucker?
No, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna be like, you know what?
And I don't remember him crying in that scene. I remember him telling Obi-Wan he hated him with Sith eyes.
He was crying.
He was crying.
I hate you.
He wasn't
That's what
crying.
it sounded like.
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't crying.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that too is that he actually survived that shit.
Yeah, he survived.
That's what he told Obi-Wan too. He said you should have killed him when you had a chance.
He survived, but guess what?
Did. And wreaked fucking havoc over the goddamn galaxy.
Guess what? Him getting himself cut in half made him not a Jedi no more. It made him a Sith. You know why? Because anger had to force him to survive. He wasn't even a Jedi no more. Mr. Greatest Jedi ever got his motherfucking ass whooped by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Really? Oh, by the way, he wasn't even a Jedi Master. He got his ass whooped by a Jedi Master.
He really did?
Yeah, he did. He really did. He got his ass mollywopped.
Oh,
Peter rolled by motherfucking Obi-Wan.
Well, let me ask you a question. So, but who killed who?
Who killed what?
Who killed who?
Obi-Wan killed Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Anakin Skywalker.
Killed Anakin Skywalker.
You can believe that shit all the fuck you want.
That's what
I'm telling
you.
Did. He probably did. He probably had to. He probably had to.
See, this part that you don't understand, bro. The moment that Anakin cut off Mace Windu's fucking arm or his hand or whatever the fuck it was, and he was christened Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker no longer existed. That was done. So as he said, I killed Anakin Skywalker. The moment he did that and went to the dark side, he killed Anakin Skywalker. That was it. That's why he said Darth Vader. So imagine how the situation would have turned differently. Imagine if Padme.
Here we go with this.
No. It's not about that. Because you can say because listen, dude. we talk about the shit all the time with wrestling, right? We're talking about somebody's potential, right? What were we just talking a minute ago about Jey Uso's potential of being a world champion? Same shit.
Possibility.
Same shit. So I'm saying here, as far as Padme Anakin's relationship, I'm talking about it as possibly what would happen if things had changed, if the story had been wrote differently. Would Padme went to the dark side?
Who knows?
Right, because she wasn't talking to Anakin anymore when she was on there. You know why? Because Anakin wouldn't have choked the fuck out of her. Darth Vader would have. And that's exactly what he did.
Okay.
So, like I said, you can have your opinion, which doesn't mean shit. And then the rest of us, we can. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna tell you right now, you better not ever fucking let me see you anywhere getting an autograph or even talking to Hayden Christensen about shit.
Why?
Motherfucker.
Why? I'll be like, hey, sir.
Oh, is that a lightsaber you got there?
Sir.
No, wait a minute. Is that a lightsaber?
So,
you bring the bitch with when you come out here, bitch. Bring the motherfucker with you. We'll have a goddamn real lightsaber dude. I'll show you what Anakin Skywalker can do.
Oh shit!
I mean, what did Vader say at the beginning? What did Vader say anyways? Anakin Skywalker was weak. I destroyed him.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said he was weak because that motherfucker had emotions. He cared about people. That's weak to Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's weak.
Okay.
But you bring that lightsaber. And I'm gonna show you where to stick it.
Oh shit,
Mark. This goddamn podcast has gone off the rails. This is funny shit.
Oh shit!
You don't. There's two things. There's two things that you don't talk shit to me about. Because I'm gonna get you. Don't talk shit to me about the NWO, and don't fucking three things. Don't talk. Four. I'm gonna tell you like four. Don't talk shit to me about the NWO. Don't talk shit to me about Michael Jackson. Don't talk shit to me about Star Wars. And don't fuck with me when it comes to New Edition. Now, if you say off those goddamn topics right there, it won't be a problem. But you want something to talk shit about Anakin Skywalker, fucking Lord Vader himself.
Hey, I just presented a case, man.
You ain't presenting shit.
That's all I did.
You'll probably be one of those assholes that'll something to say that Dick Grayson was a better Batman than Bruce Wayne.
What?
Yeah, you probably said some shit like that, wouldn't you?
No, never. Right. I would never do no shit like that. But I will say, Obi-Wan Kenobi beat the dog shit out of Anakin Skywalker.
I don't see it. I don't see it that way. I saw Obi-Wan getting lucky. And let's see something right there. Let's see something right now. Let's say something right now. Let's say this right here. Let's be honest about something since you wanted something to bring the shit up. I'm gonna tell you. You say Anakin was a bitch. I'm gonna tell you that nigga was a G. Did Anakin go into hiding for 10 fucking years?
No.
He was out doing his shit. Who went into hiding? Obi-Wan did.
Because they were killing all the fucking Jedi.
Oh, but if he was such a bitch,
come on,
fuck that.
If it was one-on-one, he already got the work, bro. He already got the work.
Oh, so you mean so that's not a bitch move though to go hiding.
Bro, you have the
Yoda wasn't a bitch when he went into exile after he got his ass whipped by Sidious.
Bro, all the Jedi were getting destroyed, bro.
Who hid?
They all hid.
So who's the bitches? Is it the Jedi or is it the Empire?
Bro, come on now.
No, fuck that. Come on. No, call it like it is.
Come on. No.
Who went hiding? 10 years, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi show was 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
He turned into Darth Vader, all right?
Anakin was Darth Vader.
Then he had the beaten woman syndrome. Somebody had to take him in. Palpatine took him in, nursed him back to full health, and was like, don't worry, I got him.
Nursed him back to full health?
Man, he did. Who you think came and got him?
Bruh, he did not nurse him back
Bro,
to
if
full
it
health.
wasn't for Palpatine,
You call
if it
that
wasn't
suit?
for Palpatine, if
You
it
call
wasn't
that?
for Palpatine,
You call that fucking bullshit suit nursing him back to health?
bro, if it was, it's better than fucking dying. He's still alive. He's still alive.
Yeah,
He
and
was like, damn, he fucked you up, bro. He left you out here to die too. Let me pick
and in
you
constant
up,
pain for 20. Yeah, you know why? You know why he wouldn't pick him up? Because Palpatine knew how powerful that motherfucker was still.
Oh, that's why.
Oh, and powerful.
He just fucked up all my business, man.
Yeah.
He done fucked up
Sound ignorant, bro.
He fucked up my bottom bitch, bro.
You sound ignorant as fuck.
I gotta go help him.
You sound ignorant as fuck, dude. You sound like a motherfucker. You sound like a motherfucker that will fucking put on a mask to be another character, but you still got the same tattoos on. People know who the fuck you are. You sound ridiculous.
That's fucked up. Nah, man, I'm just saying though. Like he was like, man, he done fucked up my bottom. Gotta go pick him up. He burnt you pretty bad. But I don't want you to die. I'm gonna put you on this life support forever. As long as you got the force, baby, you're gonna make it. As long as you got the force. You know, I even give you a new stable. I'll give you your own stable.
You don't have the force anymore.
Who?
Vader. You know, a lot of his powers were gone once the battle happened on Lucifer. He didn't have it anymore. He used to be able to be. Anakin Skywalker used to be able to see into the future and have premonitions and shit. He no longer had that power anymore once that happened. He didn't have it anymore. So he was so powerful, but he wasn't as powerful as he once was.
And this is the one that you said was the most powerful Jedi.
I didn't say Dave Filoni said it. But Dave Filoni works for Lucasfilm. I don't. So I'm going to go and take the word of somebody who works there. Because at the end of the day, guess what? At the end of the day, it's all fake, and it's how they want to write it and present it. So let's just put it like that.
All right, we good.
Exactly. So like when people out there talk about, well, gosh damn it, he should have won that championship. Well, the producers didn't want him to win it. That's why they wrote it the way they did. Well, Roman Reigns has been a world champion for this long. Yeah, I know, because they book him that way. They write him to be the world champion. It's part of the script. There's no script. Yes, there is.
Oh, shit. All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm done. You've said a lot tonight, sir. I've got a mouthful here, and I'm done. You son of a bitch, you.
All right, man.
Right these nuts.
Oh, shit. All right, y'all. This is No Gimmicks, episode 47.
Go fuck yourself.
Till next time. Peace.
Yeah, pieces.